there, folks. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you could make it because in today's episode, we are continuing our freeze-dried fruit experiment. Last week, we took an assortment of fruits, stuck them in our freeze dryer, and I gotta tell you, my favorite ones were the pineapple and the grape. Absolutely delicious. Well, you guys blew up the comment section and you made all kinds of amazing suggestions of what you would like to see me freeze-dry next, and that's exactly what we're gonna be doing today. Some really interesting fruits in today's episode. Let's see how they turn out.
First up is the banana, and we're not going to do anything too special, just peel it and cut it into slices. Once we're done, we're going to put it on our freeze dryer tray, just like so, and set it in the freezer. Next up, we are going to supreme the grapefruit. If you're not familiar with the process of supreming citrus, basically we're going to remove the pith and then remove the membrane. And this way you can serve it up in slices. And so with a knife, I'm going to very carefully cut the membrane away from that slice and then just separate it. Now, I do have to admit that this particular process was a little extra, but I did think it would be cool to see a freeze-dried version of grapefruit in this form. And just to let you know, all the seeds have been removed. Let's look at mango. I have a weird relationship with mango, but I'm curious as to how this tastes freeze-dried. So all we're going to do is remove those rectangles off of the peel, set them into a bowl, and then eventually they're going to go onto our Harvest Right tray and into the freezer. Next up is the watermelon. I've got a couple different varieties of watermelon, one yellow and one red, and all we're going to do to prepare the watermelon is slice them into fairly large slices, remove all the seeds because I don't think the seeds will be a pleasant eating experience once it's freeze-dried, and then just cut it into chunks. Not really sure what to expect with watermelon, but this is what it looks once it's all processed. Into the freezer it goes, and now we've got cantaloupe. Cantaloupe is pretty simple. Remove the seeds, cut it into slices, remove the skin, and then cut it into chunks. Onto the Harvest Right tray it goes, and then we are going to pre-freeze that, so that's going in the freezer. Next up is the papaya. Who likes papaya? We're going to process this just like the cantaloupe, and onto our tray it goes. Now, I didn't have a lot of cantaloupe, so the papaya is sharing a little space. Now, let's look at the control panel of our freeze dryer. We are going to reduce the temperature to -20. I don't really need a lot of extra freeze time because I pre-freeze mine in a blast chiller, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. But if you don't have a way to pre-freeze, you definitely want to add like 12 hours of extra freeze time. Our dry temp is 125, and our extra dry time is going to be 12 hours. And there you go. Let's go ahead and hit save and hit start. And in about 15 minutes, we will load up the trays. And let me show you how I pre-freeze the stuff that goes into my freeze dryer. This is a blast chiller that we use for food. Freezes it super cold and super fast. Usually within a couple hours, it's down to -30 degrees, which is perfect for freeze drying. And that's one of the best tips that I can give you. Make sure that your food is ultra cold when you begin the process of freeze drying. And that's why that extra freeze time is so important. If you don't have a blast chiller, that'll do it for you. All right, so our food is in the freeze dryer. We're going to go ahead and lock it down and let it do its thing. We'll see you in about 48 hours. All right, here we go. Look at this freeze-dried fruit. The grapefruit looks incredible. Very pleased with the way this turned out. I mean, all of it looks beautiful. The cantaloupe, the mango and papaya look great, and the banana looks exactly the same as it went in. Let's taste it.
Going in. Wow. That's awesome. Incredibly crunchy, super sweet, very concentrated, and then as you're biting and breaking it all down, it's starting to rehydrate. That turns it into kind of like a banana puree right in your mouth. Absolutely delicious. Okay, let's try mango. Now, mango is a very funny fruit for me. I have a love-hate relationship with the fresh fruit. Let's see what it's like freeze-dried. That's spectacular. Wow, that's surprisingly good. I cannot believe. It's very light. It's crispy. It's bringing every bit of that mango quality. And this was a really nice, really sweet variety. Mango is absolutely delicious. Let's go with another tropical fruit, the papaya. Here we go. Wow. So far, these are all winners. I'm kind of loving the papaya and the mango and the banana better freeze-dried than fresh. Though, don't get me wrong, I love them fresh, but as a little snack, as for long-term storage, this is absolutely brilliant. All right, what's left? We've got the grapefruit, also known as the toronja, probably the weirdest thing that we freeze-dried in this particular batch. Take a little look at that. What do you think? Just kind of break it in half. Ultra crispy, ultra airy. Let's give it a bite. Woo! That is tart. That is so good, though. I gotta be honest, I was not sure how this was gonna turn out. It's very light. It almost kind of melts on your tongue. It's not nearly as crispy as some of the other ones. Wow, it's sour. It has all the flavor of grapefruit. It's sour. This is delicious. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to process it the way that we did. I have seen videos where people just slice citrus with peel on and everything, and they just eat the whole thing. Maybe we'll try that in a future episode. But if you can supreme the grapefruit and freeze dry it, this is wild. Pretty cool, especially if you love grapefruit. Just melts in your mouth. Okay. Woo! All right. All right, let's try the watermelon. Now, I wasn't sure how this one was going to freeze dry. We did remove all the seeds, which is super important if you want to put it into long-term storage or you want to make watermelon powder or something like that. But just by looking at it, it looks like it freeze dried great. Let's give it a bite. I gotta tell you, it is a weird and bizarre experience eating this watermelon because, you know, my entire life I've been eating it. It's always had one texture, and today I feel like I'm eating it for the very first time because it is ultra crunchy. It kind of melts in your mouth as soon as you bite. The flavor is definitely a lot sweeter today than what it was before we freeze-dried it. And I've got to say a little more comparable to probably the flavor of a watermelon Jolly Rancher. Obviously not the same, but pretty close. Very weird, very fun. This is kind of a cool freeze-dried fruit. I got to be completely honest. I wasn't sure how I was going to like it. Let's try the last one, which is freeze-dried cantaloupe going in. What a wild way to enjoy cantaloupe. Slightly crunchy, super concentrated. A little bit of an aftertaste that I'm not entirely enjoying right there at the very end of that cantaloupe. Maybe it's the quality of the cantaloupe, but for me, at least with this cantaloupe, I would prefer the fresh version over the freeze-dried version. But with that being said, great way to put cantaloupe into long-term storage. All right, folks, today's selection of fruit was incredible, with the exception of the cantaloupe, which I could take or leave. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. The banana, the mango, the papaya were absolutely incredible. I might even prefer the freeze-dried version of that over the fresh version. The grapefruit, though, was probably my favorite today. It's the weirdest. It's the most unique experience when you bite into it. It retains all the tartness, all the sweetness, and all the flavor of a beautiful grapefruit with just this incredibly unique texture. Just melts on your tongue and absolutely delicious. Watermelon was pretty wild as well, but I think I like the grapefruit better. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. Let me know in the comment section below what you would like to see me freeze dry next. And if you want any information on the Harvest Right freeze dryer, check the description box below. I'll put a link to their website. They've got a huge sale going on. And if you've ever been interested in freeze drying food or long-term food storage, now may be a great time to pull the trigger. If you're new to this channel, and this is the first video that you've seen from us, we'd like to say welcome. We do all kinds of stuff here at the Two Guys in a Cooler channel. Everything from cooking and gardening and dry curing meats to long-term food storage and freeze-dried food. So if you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. Thanks a lot for watching. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.